My friends, listen carefully. There are moments in life when you are betrayed, when whispers of deceit move behind closed doors, when the hands that once held yours strike you in silence. They smile to your face but plot behind your back. They hurt you in secret, believing no one will ever know. But the great truth is this: nothing remains hidden forever. The universe operates on laws unbreakable, and the energy we put out must return to us. Every lie told, every deception spun, every injustice committed, it all circles back to its source. You need not chase them. You need not unmask them. God Himself will do it. Do you not see? The betrayal was never meant to break you. It was meant to elevate you. If you have been wronged, know this: you are being positioned for something greater. Your spirit is being refined, your path is being cleared, and those who sought to harm you will one day stand exposed. This is not about vengeance. No, vengeance is the work of the small-minded. This is about divine justice. The same ones who whisper about you in secret will one day have to watch your rise in silence. The same ones who doubted you will one day witness your transformation. Remain still, do not react. Your silence is your power. Let them believe they have won. Let them believe they have escaped unseen. The hands of time are already moving. And when God exposes them, the world will see the truth they worked so hard to hide. So, lift your head. Walk forward in faith. What was meant for your harm is already turning in your favor. The unseen forces of the universe operate with absolute precision. Every action, every intention, every thought is recorded in the grand design of life. There is no escaping it, no avoiding it, no covering it up for eternity. When someone chooses to act in deceit, when they whisper lies, when they manipulate and wound in the shadows, they believe they are safe. They believe that their actions will never see the light of day, that the harm they cause will never return to them. But they do not understand the fundamental truth that governs all existence. Nothing is hidden from divine justice. For a time it may seem as though they have succeeded. They move through life appearing untouched, their hands unsoiled, their conscience undisturbed. But this is only an illusion, a fleeting moment where darkness believes itself victorious. What they fail to realize is that every action creates an echo. Every secret wound inflicted upon another carries an inevitable consequence. The universe does not forget. The unseen forces that uphold the balance of life are always working, moving, orchestrating events to restore what was broken, to reveal what was concealed. Consider the way nature itself operates. The seed buried in the soil does not remain hidden forever. With time it emerges, breaking through the earth, stretching toward the light. So too do the deeds of men. What was done in secret must one day be seen. The one who betrayed in silence will find themselves standing in the full exposure of truth. The one who deceived will be revealed for what they are. There is no darkness that can hold its power against the light. Many times those who have been wronged feel an urge to expose the injustice themselves. They long for the world to see the truth, to make others aware of the pain that was inflicted upon them. But divine justice does not require your interference. You do not need to chase down lies or seek to unmask those who have harmed you. That is not your burden to carry. Truth does not need a defender. It is powerful enough to rise on its own. Look at the stories throughout history. How many times have those who sought to conceal their wrongdoings been brought to ruin? How often has the one who thought they had escaped consequence found themselves suddenly exposed? The greatest downfalls are not those brought about by men, but by the unseen hand of justice that ensures no one escapes the weight of their own actions. Those who built their lives upon deception will find their foundations crumbling beneath them. But what about you? What about the one who has been wronged? What about the one who has suffered betrayal, slander, and silent wounds? You must understand this. Your healing does not come from witnessing their downfall. Your healing comes from releasing the pain, stepping forward in faith, and knowing that justice is already in motion. You do not need to concern yourself with when or how it will happen. The moment the harm was done to you, the process of restoration began. There is a higher order, a divine intelligence that sees beyond what the human eye perceives. It sees the hidden tears, the silent prayers, the moments of anguish no one else witnessed. And it is in those very moments that your redemption is being written. The same way the universe ensures that no injustice goes unseen, it also ensures that no suffering goes unanswered. Trust in the timing of divine justice. Sometimes exposure does not come immediately. Sometimes it takes years for the truth to be fully revealed. But do not mistake delay for denial. What is hidden today will be undeniable tomorrow. The greater the deception, the greater the revelation. The longer the lie persists, the more dramatic the exposure will be. Those who have harmed others may continue to walk freely for a time, but their steps are already leading them toward the unveiling of their truth. Your responsibility is not to wait for their downfall, but to rise above it. Do not allow bitterness to consume you. Do not let the actions of others imprison your mind. True power lies in knowing that nothing can be taken from you that will not be restored in greater measure. What was lost will be returned. What was broken will be made whole. The betrayals you endured were not the end of your story. They were the beginning of your transformation. Let go of the need to watch their exposure. It will come when the time is right. Let go of the desire to make others see what they have done. The truth will reveal itself, whether you witness it or not. The best thing you can do is continue moving forward, knowing that you are divinely protected, that nothing escapes the eyes of justice, and that every wrong will be made right. The universe does not forget. God does not overlook. What was done in darkness is already being prepared for the light. Trust that. Walk in that faith. And when the day comes when the truth is laid bare, you will not feel anger or the need for vengeance. You will feel peace, knowing that divine justice has always been working in your favor. The world around you is nothing more than a reflection of the world within you. Every experience, every interaction, every betrayal, these are manifestations of the inner state you carry, the beliefs you hold, and the energy you cultivate. When someone deceives you, when you are wounded by betrayal, it is easy to believe that the external world is acting against you. But the truth is far deeper. The way you process that betrayal, the way you choose to respond, is what shapes the reality that follows. Your inner world is the foundation upon which all things in your life are built. Many people, when faced with deceit, react with anger, resentment, or a deep need for justice. They want to see the person who wronged them suffer, to see them exposed, to ensure that the world knows what was done. This reaction is natural, but it is also limiting. When your energy is tied to the wrongdoing of another, you continue to be entangled in their actions. You allow their betrayal to dictate your emotions, your thoughts, and ultimately your life. Justice is not something that needs to be forced. It unfolds according to the laws of the universe, and these laws operate on energy. If you remain aligned with faith, with trust, with a deep knowing that all things will be made right in their own time, then you allow divine order to work on your behalf. But if you allow fear to consume you, fear that they will never be exposed, fear that they will never face consequences, then you disrupt that order. You shift from a state of power to a state of helplessness. Because fear is the great illusion that makes you believe you must take control. The moment you realize that your reality is shaped from within, you take back your power. You begin to understand that no betrayal, no deception, no external event can break you unless you allow it to. When someone wounds you in secret, they expect you to be consumed by that pain. They expect their actions to alter your course, to keep you in a state of confusion or anger. But what they do not realize is that their actions hold no real power. Your response is what determines the outcome. Think of two individuals who experience the same betrayal. One is filled with bitterness. They replay the events over and over in their mind, allowing the pain to dictate their emotions. They become guarded, distrusting, and carry that wound into every future interaction. Their reality becomes shaped by this single act of betrayal because they have not released it from within. The other person, however, recognizes the pain but refuses to let it take root. They do not deny what happened, but they also do not allow it to define them. They move forward in faith, trusting that justice is inevitable, that life will correct itself without their interference. Their inner world remains strong, unshaken, and as a result, their outer reality follows suit. The difference between these two individuals is not what happened to them, but how they chose to process it. One remains stuck in the external world, focusing on what was done to them. The other remained rooted in their internal power, knowing that nothing can be taken from them that will not be restored in greater measure. This is the truth that so many fail to see. What happens to you is never as important as how you respond. Betrayal may shake you, but it does not have to break you. Deceit may wound you, but it does not have to define you. If you believe that you are at the mercy of others, that your peace is dependent on whether or not they are exposed, then you have already given away your power. But if you understand that your peace comes from within, that justice is not yours to force, but yours to trust in, then nothing can shake you. There is an order to life, a balance that cannot be disrupted. The same way the sun must rise, the same way the tides must shift, justice must unfold. What is hidden must come to light. What is taken must be returned. But the timeline is not yours to control. Your only responsibility is to stay aligned with the energy that ensures you remain in a state of elevation rather than suffering. There is a simple truth that few understand. The moment you detach from the need to see justice, justice begins to unfold. When you are no longer consumed by whether or not they will be exposed, the exposure happens effortlessly. When you are no longer waiting for their downfall, it arrives without warning. This is because your energy has shifted. You are no longer blocking divine order with your own resistance. Instead, you are allowing it to move freely, to bring balance, as it always does. The ones who wronged you, who lied to you, who betrayed you, they have already set their fate in motion. The moment they acted in deceit, they placed themselves on a path that leads to their own exposure. You do not need to stand in their way. You do not need to wait and watch. The only thing you must do is continue forward, ensuring that your heart remains unburdened by their actions. When you truly understand this, you will no longer live in fear. You will no longer hold on to anger. You will no longer ask when justice will come, because you will know that it already has. The same force that allowed the betrayal to happen is the same force that will correct it. The only question is whether you will remain bound to the pain or rise above it. Everything begins within. The world outside of you is simply a reflection of what you carry inside. If you hold on to anger, you will see more reasons to be angry. If you hold on to faith, you will see how effortlessly justice unfolds. Your peace does not depend on whether or not others are punished. Your peace depends on whether or not you choose to remain in alignment with a higher truth, that no injustice goes unseen. Let go of the need to control. Let go of the fear that justice will not be served. It is already happening. Focus only on ensuring that your inner world remains steady, because when your inner world is in order, your outer world will follow. No one who has wronged you has the power to shape your destiny. Only you do. And when you stand firm in that truth, everything else must align in your favor. There is an order to life that cannot be rushed, manipulated, or controlled. Everything unfolds according to a divine plan, and though you may not always see it, that plan is always in motion. When you have been wronged, when someone has betrayed you, it is natural to want justice immediately. You want to see their actions exposed, their deceit laid bare for the world to see. But divine order does not operate on human impatience. It moves according to a higher wisdom, one that ensures that everything is revealed at the exact moment it is meant to be. There is no such thing as an action without consequence. The moment someone acts in deception, the seeds of their exposure are planted. But just as a seed takes time to grow, so does the unfolding of divine justice. You may look around and wonder why they seem to prosper despite their wrongdoing, why they continue on without consequences, while you are left carrying the weight of what they have done. But what you do not see is the foundation beneath them beginning to crack. What is hidden will always come to light, and what is built on lies cannot stand. The challenge is to trust in this process, to release the need to control how and when justice arrives. The more you try to force it, the more you entangle yourself in the energy of what was done to you. The more you watch and wait, hoping for their downfall, the more you remain connected to their actions. True power comes in letting go, in knowing that divine justice does not require your interference. There is a perfect moment for everything. A flower does not bloom before its time. The sun does not rise before the night has run its course. And just as nature follows a rhythm, so does the unfolding of truth. If justice were rushed, it would not be complete. If someone was exposed before the right moment, the full weight of their actions would not be felt. But when the time is right, when every piece is in place, their actions will be revealed in a way that cannot be denied. What appears to be a delay is actually preparation. The universe is aligning everything so that when truth comes to the surface, it does so in a way that is undeniable, irreversible, and complete. This is why you must resist the urge to act out of impatience. If you try to expose someone before divine order has set the stage, you may only see temporary consequences. But when you trust in timing, when you step back and allow the process to unfold, the exposure will be undeniable. Many people who betray others believe that they have escaped consequences simply because nothing happens immediately. They continue on, believing that their actions have gone unnoticed, that they have succeeded in their deception. But what they do not realize is that every action carries an energy, and that energy must return to them. They are walking toward their own downfall, step by step, unaware that the very thing they try to avoid is already set in motion. You may not see the storm coming, but that does not mean it is not on its way. The one who wronged you may appear untouched by consequences, but what is happening beneath the surface is far greater than what you can see. The delays are not denials. They are simply the universe ensuring that when justice comes, it is undeniable. The more you trust in this, the more peace you will find. When you understand that timing is perfect, that nothing is forgotten, you release the burden of carrying anger, resentment, and frustration. You no longer wake up wondering when they will face what they have done. Instead, you move forward, knowing that their actions have already determined their fate. The law of cause and effect cannot be broken. What is given must be received, and what is hidden must be revealed. The moment you surrender to this truth, you free yourself. You no longer need to chase justice, because you understand that justice is inevitable. You do not need to wait and watch, because you trust that everything is happening exactly as it should. Your focus shifts from them to yourself, from their actions to your own healing. And when you do this, you rise above the pain, the betrayal, and the need for validation. You step into a space where their actions no longer have power over you. Let them believe they have succeeded. Let them think they have escaped. It does not matter, because the unseen forces of life are already working. The same way the sun must rise, the same way the tides must shift, truth must come to light. It is not a matter of if, but when. And when that moment arrives, everything will fall into place in a way that only divine order can orchestrate. So release your worries. Let go of the need to see their downfall. Shift your focus back to yourself, to your own growth, to your own peace. The timing is not in your hands, but that is a blessing, not a burden. Trust that all things are happening in perfect order, and when the moment comes, you will see that justice was never delayed. It was simply being prepared in a way that no one could deny. There is immense power in silence. When you have been wronged, when someone has betrayed your trust or sought to harm you in secret, your first instinct may be to react, to defend yourself, to expose them, to make sure the world sees the truth. But the greatest strength lies not in retaliation, not in loud confrontations or desperate attempts to force justice, but in the quiet certainty that truth cannot remain hidden. What has been done in darkness must come to light, and you do not have to be the one to reveal it. Silence is not weakness. It is not passivity. It is the highest form of control, for it shows that you trust in a power greater than immediate revenge. When you remain silent, you allow the universe to do what it does best, balance the scales in ways that are beyond human understanding. The one who wronged you thrives on reaction. They want to see you struggle, to see you chase justice, to know that they still have a hold on your emotions. But when you give them nothing, no response, no acknowledgement, you strip them of that power. There is a divine intelligence at work that sees all things, knows all intentions, and moves in ways that cannot be interfered with. When you try to force justice, when you seek revenge, you place yourself in the same energy as those who have harmed you. You entangle yourself in their chaos, making yourself a part of their story rather than freeing yourself from it. But when you step back, when you choose silence, you allow the universe to move in its own way, and its way is always perfect. What is done in the shadows cannot remain there forever. Lies, deceit, and betrayal carry an energy that cannot be sustained indefinitely. The weight of dishonesty always becomes too heavy for the one carrying it. Eventually, they expose themselves, not because you fought to reveal the truth, but because truth is too powerful to be contained. Many believe that silence means surrender, that by not speaking out, you are allowing injustice to continue. But silence is not surrender, it is strategy. It is understanding that timing is everything and that rushing the process will only dilute the outcome. There is a time to speak, but it is never in anger, never in a desperate attempt to force someone to admit what they have done. The truth does not need your help to stand. It will reveal itself when the moment is right. Imagine a seed planted in the earth. You do not need to dig it up every day to prove that it is growing. You do not need to shout at the soil, demanding that it break open so the roots can emerge. You simply trust that nature is doing its work, and in time, what was hidden beneath the surface will break through for all to see. The same is true of the truth. You do not need to expose it. You do not need to force it. You simply need to wait. And when the time is right, it will emerge on its own. The most dangerous person is not the one who reacts impulsively, but the one who moves in silence. Silence is the ultimate form of strength because it shows that you are unshaken. It shows that you do not need validation, that you are not seeking approval, that you are not dependent on anyone else's perception of justice. The one who betrayed you will be waiting for a response, expecting a reaction. When you give them none, you shift the power dynamic entirely. They may assume they have won. They may believe they have escaped consequences. But what they do not realize is that silence is not the absence of action. It is the greatest action of all. It signals that you are not playing their game, that you have removed yourself from their reach, and that whatever happens next is no longer in your hands, but in the hands of something far greater. When you are silent, you are listening. You are attuned to the subtle movements of the universe, watching as things begin to fall into place in ways you could never have orchestrated yourself. And when the moment arrives, when truth finally breaks through, it will do so in a way that no one can deny. The exposure will be complete, undeniable, and absolute. The greatest victories are won in silence. The most powerful people are not those who announce their every move, but those who understand that patience and stillness are their greatest weapons. Do not waste your energy trying to prove yourself. Do not chase validation. Do not seek revenge. Trust that the universe is already at work and the truth is making its way to the surface. Let them think they have won. Let them believe they have escaped. None of it matters, because what is meant to be revealed will be revealed. And when it is, you will be standing in peace, untouched by the chaos they try to bring into your life. Silence is not just your weapon, it is your shield. Use it and watch as justice unfolds in ways you never imagined. Your energy is sacred. It is the essence of your being, the invisible force that shapes your reality and the source from which all things flow in your life. When you have been wronged, betrayed, or hurt by those who sought to diminish you, It is easy to fall into the trap of resentment. It is easy to replay the pain, to dwell on the injustice, and to let anger take root in your heart. But you must resist this temptation. You must understand that your energy is too precious to be wasted on bitterness, too powerful to be entangled with those who have no place in your future. The moment you allow resentment to consume you, you lower your vibration. You begin to live in reaction rather than in creation. You shift from being a master of your destiny to being a prisoner of the past. Every thought of revenge, every moment spent reliving the betrayal, is energy that could have been used to build, to heal, to grow. The universe responds not to your pain, but to your state of being. And if you dwell in bitterness, you will only attract more experiences that reinforce that energy. Let go, not for them, but for yourself. Let go, because your peace is too valuable to be disturbed by those who were never meant to stay in your life. The ones who wronged you will face their reckoning. That is not your concern. The universal laws cannot be escaped. What is given is always returned, and what is sent out always comes back. Those who betrayed your trust, those who acted with deceit, will find themselves entangled in the very energy they put into the world. Your role is not to watch, not to anticipate their downfall, not to seek validation in their suffering. Your role is to elevate, to rise above, to walk forward, unburdened by the past. There is no victory in watching another fall. True victory is in knowing that they no longer have the power to affect your mind, your heart, or your spirit. That is the highest form of freedom. You must learn to protect your energy as fiercely as you would protect a priceless treasure, because that is exactly what it is. Do not let anger dictate your actions. Do not let betrayal harden your heart. The greatest test is to remain open, to remain trusting, to remain full of love even after experiencing pain. This does not mean you allow those who hurt you back into your life. It does not mean you ignore the lessons. It simply means you refuse to become like them. You must rise above the energy that tried to break you. When you carry the weight of resentment, you are still tied to the one who hurt you. You are still allowing them space in your thoughts, still permitting them to drain your energy. But the moment you release it, the moment you choose peace over revenge, you take back your power. There is a divine intelligence governing all things. Nothing goes unnoticed. No action is without consequence. The same force that allowed the sun to rise this morning is the force that ensures justice. You do not need to concern yourself with how or when it will happen. You only need to trust that it will. And in the meantime, you must guard your energy with everything you have. Surround yourself with light, with love, with things that nourish your soul. Focus on what you are creating, not what has been destroyed. Align your thoughts with abundance, not lack. Fill your days with gratitude rather than anger, because what you focus on expands, and if you continue to focus on the betrayal, you will only prolong its hold over you. But if you focus on your growth, on your healing, on your elevation, the past will fade, and a new reality will take its place. The world does not reward bitterness. It rewards those who refuse to be defined by their wounds. It rewards those who choose resilience, who choose grace, who choose to rise despite what has been done to them. The best revenge is not to seek revenge at all, but to build a life so full, so abundant, so beautiful that those who sought to hurt you become irrelevant. You are too powerful to be diminished by temporary pain. You are too sacred to let the darkness of others pull you down. Your energy is your most valuable possession. Protect it. Do not waste it on those who do not deserve it. Do not lower yourself to match the frequency of betrayal. Instead, elevate so high that they can no longer reach you. Let the universe handle what you cannot. Let divine justice unfold in its own time, and in the meantime, remain unwavering in your peace, unshaken in your joy, and untouchable in your strength. Because that is how you truly win, not by seeking their downfall, but by rising so high that their actions no longer matter. Betrayal is a painful experience, one that shakes the very foundation of trust and security. When someone you cared for, confided in, or supported turns against you, it can feel like the end of something significant. But what if betrayal is not the end but the beginning? What if it is not meant to break you, but to position you for something far greater? Life's most profound transformations often come wrapped in the disguise of disappointment. The very thing that was meant to harm you, to discourage you, to set you back, can become the foundation upon which your greatest elevation is built. The moment someone betrays you, you are given a choice: to become bitter or to become better. Most people allow betrayal to consume them, letting anger, pain, and resentment take root in their hearts. They replay the moment, trying to understand why it happened, questioning what they could have done differently. But focusing on the betrayal itself keeps you trapped in its energy. The real shift happens when you recognize that betrayal is often a sign that you are outgrowing your current environment. Some people are only meant to be in your life for a season. When they turn against you, it is not because you were not good enough or because you were unworthy of loyalty. It is because their role in your journey has ended. The betrayal is simply the way the universe moves them out of your path. If they had remained, they would have hindered your growth, kept you stagnant, or delayed the opportunities that are meant for you. Instead of mourning their departure, begin to see it as divine redirection. When you are wronged, deceived, or abandoned, it is easy to see yourself as the victim. But you must shift your perspective. What if betrayal is not happening to you, but happening for you? What if it is a tool, not to destroy you, but to elevate you? Throughout history, those who have risen to greatness have often experienced deep betrayal before their breakthrough. It is almost as if the betrayal serves as a final test, a moment that forces you to choose whether you will succumb to the pain or rise above it. Think about it. Every betrayal reveals something. It exposes the true nature of people, removes those who do not belong in your future, and strengthens your discernment. It forces you to rely not on human validation, but on divine direction. And when you no longer seek external approval, you become unstoppable. There is a hidden blessing in every painful experience. The very people who conspired against you, who lied to you, who tried to break you, unknowingly played a role in your elevation. They thought they were harming you, but in reality, they were pushing you into a greater destiny. Had they been loyal, you might have remained comfortable in a space that was too small for you. Had they been true, you might have stayed in relationships or environments that were no longer aligned with your growth. But because they betrayed you, you were forced to step into something new. The process of elevation is rarely smooth. It often comes with loss, with endings that feel unfair, with pain that seems unbearable. But if you embrace the process, you will begin to see that everything is working for your highest good. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. You are not losing, you are being positioned. What was meant to harm you will become your testimony. The pain you endured will serve as proof of your resilience, your strength, and your ability to overcome. Do not waste time seeking revenge or trying to prove your worth to those who could not see it. The greatest revenge is not to retaliate, but to elevate. Let them watch as you rise beyond what they ever imagined. Let them see that their betrayal did not break you, but built you. When you focus on your growth, your healing, and your purpose, you rob betrayal of its power. You transform pain into wisdom, disappointment into fuel, and setbacks into stepping stones. Everything that was meant to destroy you will become part of the story that inspires others. You will look back on this moment and realize that if it had not been for the betrayal, you would not have reached the heights you were destined for. If they had not walked away, you would not have discovered your strength. If they had not deceived you, you would not have learned to trust in divine timing rather than human loyalty. Hold your head high. Do not let the actions of others define your future. Do not allow their betrayal to diminish your light. What they meant for harm, the universe is turning for good. Your elevation is coming. Your breakthrough is inevitable. The very thing that was meant to bring you down is what will lift you higher. Stay focused, stay faithful, and watch how everything begins to align in your favor. Betrayal is never the end of your story. It is the turning point. It is the moment when you are given the choice to rise above, to trust in the greater plan, and to allow the pain to transform you instead of breaking you. Those who wronged you did not derail your destiny. They unknowingly positioned you for something greater. What was meant to harm you will become your testimony, and your elevation will be undeniable. Do not waste energy on resentment or revenge. The greatest response to betrayal is to thrive, to grow beyond the limitations others tried to place on you, and to step fully into your purpose. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should, and in time you will look back and understand why things had to happen the way they did. Trust the process, keep your energy sacred, stay aligned with faith, and know that your breakthrough is coming. Thank you.